I remember it was on a Sunday morning. And mostly, Sundays were so boring to me because my parents would force us to go to church. But this particular Sunday was different. I sat in church and I was eagerly waiting for the service to end. You want to know why? The next day was going to be a big day for me. I was enrolling in secondary school. My elder sister, Hannah, had offered to remain home and help me with packing my suitcase. She was the only one who was so happy of my going to school. On the street to our house, things had changed. The street was quieter than usual. From a distance, I saw a police car parking next to our house. And I remember very well seeing a yellow tape flapping in the wind. The same tape they used to barricade a crime scene. Somehow, I made it through the broken door of our house. And right before me, my sister. She was hanging on a rope. My name is Gikufu. Gikufu means the one you fall in love with in the first moment. But I always ask myself, was this the case in my life? I am seventh born, in a family of 8. And at the age of 5, my family moved to the city. They left me behind. For 3 years, I was taken care of by my neighbors. At the age of 8, I was so happy seeing my parents coming into our homestead. And they told me, Gikufu, we are taking you to the city with us. I was so happy, friends, because finally, I was being reunited with my family. In the city, my parents had settled in a slum. A room 3 meter by 3 meter became my new home. There was no privacy at all. You would easily speak with a neighbor on the 5th house from our own heart. But that was not an issue to me, because finally, my brothers and sisters were surrounding me, and we were so happy together. But again, in the city, my brothers and sisters were going to school. But for me, I wasn't given this chance. Instead of being taken to school, I was forced to sell groundnuts. And that is not all. Things became even more tougher for me because my parents expected me to sell every groundnut they packed for me each day. Being new in the city, friends, I didn't know the language, I didn't know the streets, so I couldn't manage to sell everything they packed for me. Whenever this happened, in the evening, I would be beaten, and I would be sent to sleep without food. Due to loneliness and hunger, I joined other slum children, and together, we started going round from one estate to another, begging for food. Whenever we were not lucky, we would resort to a dumping site and would collect anything eatable to just fill our empty stomachs. One day, on a normal routine of begging, I knocked on a gate. It was opened for me. This was for the first time because normally, food used to be thrown out for us. The watchman allowed me in and took me to a room where food was being prepared. I stared at the place. And for a moment, friends, I felt I was in heaven. You know why? I had never seen in my life a lot of food being made in one pot. Staring at the place, I turned beside me and I saw a white lady. She spoke to me in English, a language that I did not understand. I kept nodding to everything that she said without even understanding a word, because I did not want to lose an opportunity to get the same food that I've already seen right now. Finally, I realized, with my nodding, I just agreed to start off with my education. She gave me food and new clothes, and she took me to a class with other children. I was so happy. But at night, were my parents happy? Of course not. They were not happy. They only agreed for me to continue if only I would continue earning them income from the groundnuts that I used to sell. Because I needed this education, I took up both. It was only my elder sister, Hannah, who celebrated the news. In fact, she sacrificed her first salary from a house of job, and she bought me warm clothes to go to school. Now you can imagine seeing her body hanging on a rope that Sunday morning. I felt like all my hope was gone. And I wanted to escape and follow her. My first attempt, I took rat poison. But because of my body being used to drugs, it tasted just like an overdose of glucose. My second attempt, I thought of a rope, and I was ready to hang myself. But seemingly, I chose a thin rope. It broke. The pain at which I came from top to down, my neck, my back, let me advise you, please don't try that. My third attempt, I wanted to jump off from a high bridge into a busy highway. But lucky me, someone held me. And here I am, speaking to you. I may have been lucky because children and youth in Mukuru slum are not as lucky as I was. They are going through these challenges day in, day out. They have no access to education. And through my organization, Mukuru Angaza Film Academy, I want to offer them hope. I want to give them a chance. I want to become like my sister Hannah, sister Barbara, or even a student leader who enabled me to continue staying in the university. Because even after going to university, I was not accepted. I was discriminated simply because I came from a slum. These are the normal challenges that you are going to encounter when you come to Mukuru slum. It's actually the third largest slum in my country, Kenya. In my project, we are going to choose a story with the children and youth that I'm going to have, and we'll work together to develop this story into a film. Through this, I'm hoping to empower them so that they can think and see a world beyond the reality that they are in now. You may ask yourself, why do I want to use even films? Let me tell you, in a slum, you come and meet me at that tiny age and give me, even if it's $1, I may be hungry, but I'll not focus on food first. I'll run to the next small, I'll call it a small hut, to just go and watch a movie. Movies are in our minds. They help us to forget for a moment our sad realities. By seeing that movie, you imagine that the world is so good around you. What about if I take them and empower them to create these movies, to be like the people they are seeing, so that they can have skills and also be counted in the society as contributing citizens? That's what my organization wants to do. Just 2 weeks before coming to India, I learned a long-kept secret, the secret why I was treated differently. I needed a passport. And to get a passport, I needed my birth certificate. But I was nowhere registered. Then I discovered that my parents were not my parents. My elder sister, Hannah, was my actual mom. And the 2-month-old boy, Amani, that she left behind, is my own brother. I can't wait to get back home and embrace him for the first time as my brother. This made me even stronger and made my dream even get warmer in my heart. That now I know I have a purpose in life. I want to be a mentor and a bridge to children and youth who are growing up in the slum community so that they can also have a chance to tell their own story. And I believe that myself, Amani, and children of Mukuru, and each and every one of you seated right here, we have a story. And probably a film script right. Thank you. Thank you.